is Ruth Malloy. I have another name, Ruth Lor Malloy, which is my literary name. I actually met Bromley in 1954 when Sid Bloom organized a test case of the in Dresdin, Ontario, which there were people there who were refusing to serve black people in restaurants and in barbershops. He picked me up in Toronto in his car, Sid did, and Bromley was there in the car. Bromley sat in the front seat with Sid. Sid and I sat in the back seat, and we spent the next 5 hours driving to Dresdin, Ontario. There was no 401 then. It's now much faster than that. And Sid had insisted that we not drink anything or eat anything during that time because he wanted to prove without a doubt that we really wanted to go to this restaurant for food and not to make trouble. In that car for 5 hours, they were talking mainly about unions and stuff and our plans and how we were, what I was just telling you, how we were going to handle this. So Bromley and Hugh and I went in and sat at a separate table, pretending that we didn't know any of the other people. And we waited. And we waited for at least 15 minutes. And while we waited, Bromley was telling me about Hugh, who had been in the Canadian Army, who had been born in Dresden. He was in the Canadian Army, and even in uniform, he could not go into any of the restaurants or without being served. He wasn't served. After the 15 minutes, we looked. First of all, Bromley got up and went to the waitress and said, "I would like a coffee. Will you serve us?" And she ignored him, and he went and sat back down. And then Hugh got up and said, "Will you serve us?" And she did the same thing. And then he said, "Can I talk to the manager?" So at least she went into the kitchen, got the manager out, and the manager, Marley McKay, came out and said, "I'm too busy to see you, Hugh." He knew Hugh from before, because after all, Hugh lived in the same town. Marley came out holding a cleaver in his hand, and he was going like this, chop, chop, chop. And he was, in fact, it looked like he was threatening us. And it was funny, I wasn't afraid, because Hugh and all these other people, Hugh and Bromley, they were big guys, you know. Bromley was a welder, Hugh was a carpenter, and then we had the journalist with us also. So this poor manager was outnumbered. So he went back in to the kitchen, and that was a no. He was not going to serve us. And at that point, when the photographers came out and started taking pictures of us, and we knew we were very happy at that point because we thought we had a case. And then we looked about the other people, the other services in town, the other restaurant, the other barbershops, and they were closed. So we went back to Toronto, and next day our pictures were in the paper. And I met Bromley at other occasions, and he never talked about anything except for Dresden. And he never told me. I mean, he was quite modest. I was amazed, and particularly when I started reading his book. Until then, that I learned that during the time we were working on Dresden, he was also involved in immigration, trying to help people from the not from the Philippines, but from Jamaica, where he was from, trying to help them immigrate to Canada during a time, it was after the war, and it was during a time when Canada was trying to bring in a lot of immigrants to help. I mean, he just kept working at it. Whenever he saw some injustice like that, he just kept on going. He not only worked there, he did other things. He became a publisher in Caribbean newspaper, a Caribbean Canadian newspaper, and trying to help people, again, through the written word, you know, trying to get them to work together. After all these years, I've been thinking about the progress made in social justice and the work we've been doing, and there's been a lot. I think one of the big things was the fact that a lot of the movies, a lot of the advertising have people of minority groups involved. And all these have helped people realize that these minority groups are really valuable to the country. Bromley was bringing in black people, which have shown us that these minorities have been helping us. I mean, so all these things have helped people accept minorities and the value of minorities, and not fight against them. And we just have to keep doing it. We just have to keep trying. And right now, it has become, the world is at stake. The future of our world is at stake because with wars, with global warming, with this increasing number of refugees in the world, these people who have no future. This is destroying the future of the world. We have to do something about it now. We have to keep making demonstrations to government. We have to fight against wars, because wars are not the solution. Wars tend to make things worse. We have to try and work. It's just everything that people in the room where I'll be speaking, they've been trying to do. They have to do more. And it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back. You have to keep it. It's a pendulum. It swings back and forth, and it'll come back again by itself. But you have to have these people working at it all the time, getting more people involved. Voting, that's very important. A lot of people don't vote. Something has to be done. And we can do it, but we have to do it together. Bromley's legacy is to, when you see some problem and you think you can do something about it, do it. He didn't stop. I mean, he saw something. He was asked to take part in Dresdin. What was really great thing to memory for me was that when we were in Dresden, we were shooting for CBC there about the Dresden problem. And an elderly man came up to us and he said he recognized us. And he gave Bromley a hug and he gave me a hug and he thanked us for all the things we did for Dresden, because before we tried, he couldn't even get an ice cream cone. And he was so effusive in his gratitude that it made everything worthwhile, all the things that we did.